Hello, this is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs, and today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make the stitches to make this beautiful wrap. I call this the Spring into Summer Lacy Wrap Shawl. It measures about 56 inches long and about 17 inches wide. And you know, I always say about because everyone stitches differently, but this is a beautiful long wrap. It's nice and wide to wrap around your shoulders. It's perfect for that Easter Sunday, maybe early morning service or an evening mass, when you're dressed in your nice church clothes or when you're not. It's perfect for a pair of jeans and a tank top as well. So this is just a great little wrap. We added a couple of nice big buttons on one side, and these are just some polymer buttons that I made. Super easy to make, and but you can purchase buttons if you want to, or you don't have to add the buttons. They just make it nice for when you wrap it around your shoulders, and you can just slip those buttons through the holes of these wrap scarf, and it stays in place. And if you're like me, I have a tendency to take them off and lose them. So if they're buttoned in place, or if it's like a cowl, you can even put the ends together and make it into one big loop if you want to. So what you're going to need to make this cowl is any of the striping yarns will work. This one is made with Caring Cakes, and it takes about 12 ounces. I'm going to use this one for our demonstration today, and it takes about 12 ounces to make one. You can use the Caring Cakes, you can use the Burnett Pop, and you can even use the Sweet Roll. These are all worsted weight number 4s. Now, you can also use any worsted weight number 4 yarns that you just happen to have on hand. You're just going to need about 12 ounces. We're going to be stitching today with our J-hook, and we're choosing the J-hook because we want it to be loose and airy because it's a spring into summer type shawl. You'll need a needle for weaving in your ends, and of course a pair of scissors for cutting once you weave those ends in. All right, let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is chain 67 chains. And this is how we're going to begin our edge. And we're going to do a wave stitch. And then that wave stitch is what gives us our wave to make the lace stitches. Now for our demonstration, I'm not going to be doing 67. I'm only going to be chaining 19. And this is so that I can show you the wave stitch without stitching a complete whole nether wrap shawl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now remember, when you're doing your initial chain, make sure that you chain a little bit loose because we're going to be working in those stitches, and you don't want it to be puckery. All right, so we're going to chain 67 chains, and I'm going to chain 19 for the demonstration. So you should chain 67 chains for the size wrap that is for the pattern. Now for the demonstration, like I said, I only chained 19. And what we're going to do for the first row, we're going to skip this first chain and begin single crocheting in the second chain from the hook. So here's our first chain. We're going to go in the second chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through both those loops. And that is a single crochet. And now we're going to single crochet in each chain across for our first row. So place one single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across, and this is going to give you 66 single crochets. We chained 67 and we started in the second chain, and one single crochet will give us 66 single crochets. Once you have crocheted one single crochet in each chain across. Like I said, you'll have 66 single crochets. Now mine isn't because it's just a demonstration. You're going to chain 1 and turn, and that chain 1 here and throughout the project does not count as a stitch. Now we're going to be doing the wave stitch, and the wave stitch has single crochets, double crochets, and triple crochets in order to make the wave stitch, and this is the foundation for the whole wrap. And so what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches. So we'll go in and stitch 1 single crochet and then stitch 2 single crochets. 1 in the first 2 stitches. Now the next 2 stitches we're going to be stitching double crochets. So we yarn over, go in our stitch, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. And we'll stitch another double crochet in the next stitch. So we stitched 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double, 1 double. Now we're going to stitch 1 triple in each of the next 2 stitches. So we're going to put 2 wraps on our hook. We're going to go in that next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2, yarn over, and go through the third 2. That's our triple, and we need to make another triple in the next stitch. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And you can already see that the wave stitch is working because we have 2 single crochets, 2 doubles, 2 triples. Now we're going to do 2 doubles again. So yarn over, go in the next stitch. 1, 2, 2 doubles. Now we're going to do 2 singles. So we go in a single, and we go in a single. See the wave? Started with singles, doubles, triples, doubles, singles. And now we're just going to repeat what we've done. So here's 2 singles. So the next 2 stitches will be doubles. Then the next 2 stitches will be triples. Then the next 2 stitches will be doubles. And then the last 2 stitches will be singles. And if you did your 66 stitches, you're going to end with 2 singles at the end of your row. And this is the way the wave stitch looks. And this is what you'll do all the way across for that second row. 2 singles, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 doubles, 2 singles, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 doubles, 2 singles. It's kind of just a repeat. 2 singles, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and then we go backwards, 2 doubles and 2 singles. Then we go 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 doubles, 2 singles. And that's what gives us the high and the low in the wave stitch. And you'll do this all the way across, and like I said, if you did your 66 single crochets, you should end with 2 single crochets in those last 2 stitches. And that's how you stitch row 2. Here is the edge of our wrap shawl, and here is the single crochet and the wave stitch that we stitched, and you can see on this one how the waves work. And now we're going to stitch this row here, which is our first lacy row. And the way this works is we're going to chain 4, and chain 4 counts as your first triple crochet. And what will happen is in each stitch that you have a single crochet in the previous row, you're going to have a triple. In your doubles, you're going to have chain 2, and then in your triples, you're going to have single crochets. And let me show you how that works. So our chain 4 counted as our first triple crochet because we're stitching in a single crochet. So now we're going to stitch another triple in the next stitch. And then we're going to chain 2. We're not going to stitch in those 2 double crochets. We're going to skip them. And then we're going to stitch in those 2 triples, but we're going to only stitch a single crochet in each of the triples. So there's 1 single and 2 singles. Then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And again, we're going to skip these 2 double crochets, and then we'll be at the 2 singles. So we're going to stitch 1 triple in each of the 2 singles. And you can already start to see how the lacy work looks. Chain 2, skip the 2 double crochets, and we're at 2 triples, so we're going to place 1 single in the top of those 2 triples. We're going to chain 2, skip the 2 double crochets, and then we're at those last 2 singles, so we're going to stitch a triple crochet in each of those last 2 single crochets. Go ahead and chain 1. And this is how this row should look. And you'll do this, of course, all the way across. Triple, chain 2, 2 single crochets. Once you get to the end, because you ended with 2 single crochets on row 2, row 3 should end with 2 triples, and it will be reversed on every row. Now we're on to our 4th row. We chained 1, and remember, chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and because we have 2 triples here, we're going to place a single in the top of those 2 triple crochets. And again, we're going to chain 2, and then we have 2 singles, so we're going to place 1 triple in each of those 2 singles. All right, so now we chain 2. 1, 2. And now our next 2 stitches are 2 single crochets because we have 2 triples. 1, 2, chain 2. Now we're to 2 singles. So we're going to stitch 2 triple crochets, 1 in each of the 2 singles. Chain 2. And our last 2 stitches are the triple and then the chain 4 that's counting as a triple. So we're going to put a single crochet in the top of that triple and a single crochet in the top of that chain 4. Now you can see how the lacy pattern works. And as I was looking at this, I noticed they made little ovals like Easter eggs, so that's kind of fun. So basically, the way the pattern is going to work, to make it the size that I have made this one, you're going to need to repeat alternating every other row for a total of 88 rows. Now, you can make it longer or shorter, totally up to you how long you want to make it. But what you'll be doing is you'll be alternating these 2 rows that we did. When you stitch a single crochet, it'll always be in a triple. You'll always chain 2, and then you'll stitch 2 triples, 1 in each of the singles. And you'll alternate back and forth, and that's what's going to give you this fun look. And you'll notice triple singles, triple singles, triple singles, and then single, triple, single, triple, single, triples. And so that's the way that the pattern works for the lacy look. Okay, so I'm going to do one more row just to make sure that you've got it figured out. So, move that out of the way. We ended with 2 single crochets on the end. So I chained 4 because remember, when we chain 4, it counts as our first triple crochet. Then we're going to turn our work and we're going to put another triple crochet in that next single. Then we chain 2. The next 2 triples, we're going to place a single in each of the triples. Chain 2. Guess I need to get some more yarn out. There we go. And then we're going to place a triple in each of those singles. Chain 2. Skipping the chains, we're at the 2 triples, so we're going to place a single in the top of each of those triples. Chain 2 again. And then here we're back to our triples, so we're going to place a single in each one. And I'm just going to chain 1 to hold it. Now, of course, your pattern will be a lot longer. It'll be like this one. All the way across. And you'll do this repeating every other row, like I said, for 88 rows. And then once we get that done, we're going to go back and do the solid wave stitch and end with a row of single crochet. I'm going to put a few more rows on this one, and then I'll demonstrate how to do the ending wave and the single crochet. I'm going to show you one more time with one more row how to make the lace wave stitches, just to make sure that you understand how to do that. And then I'm going to show you how to make the solid wave and then the single crochet edge to finish off our wrap shawl. And that's just going to give it a nice edge on the end. So we've already chained 4, which counts as our first triple crochet. And then we're going to triple crochet in this next single crochet. And chain 2. We're going to place 1 single in the top of these next 2 triple crochets. And chain 2. The next 2 stitches are triples because these are singles. So we place 1 triple in each of those next 2 singles. And then chain 2. The next 2 stitches will be singles because these 2 are triples. Chain 2. Now we're at the end of our row, and of course your row is going to be a lot longer than mine, but I'm going to place 1 triple in each of these last 2 singles. And chain 1. All right, now we need to make the wave stitch in order to finish off our shawl. So we're going to make a solid wave stitch, and basically we'll be doing the same thing. The only difference is we'll be placing double crochets in the chain 2 spaces across this row. So let me pull a little bit more yarn out here. There we go. What we'll do is these are triples, so we'll place a single in those. Then these chain 2s, we're going to place a double crochet. I just stitched a triple, didn't I? All right, there we go. We're going to place 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space. 1 2. Now we're at the 2 single crochets, so we're going to stitch a triple crochet in each of those 2 single crochets. Now we're to the chain 2 space, so we're going to place 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space. Now we're back to these 2 triples. We'll place 1 single in each of those 2 triples. Another chain 2 space. So we'll place 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. 1, 2, and you can see how that's filling in so that it'll look similar to this. All right, so we're back to the next single crochet, so we're going to place 2 triples. 1, 2, chain 2 space, so we're going to place 2 doubles. 1, 2, and these last 2 stitches is our triple crochet and our chain 4. So we're going to place a single in the top of the triple and a single in the top of that chain 4. And you'll do this all the way across your row, and it's going to look similar to what you did at the beginning because you did it's basically a solid wave stitch where these stitches are a lace wave stitch. And that's how it should look. Then we're going to chain 1, and the last row is just a single crochet in each single crochet across. Doesn't matter what stitch is on the wave, you just stitch 1 single crochet in each of the stitches across. And this is how that last row should look, so that it looks similar to the first 2 rows. Solid wave stitch and then a row of single crochet. Let me move this one out of the way, and we'll bring this one back over. Now, you'll notice mine's just a little bit wavy, and that's just kind of the nature of it. If you want it to lay flat, you can block it if you want to. I just kind of like it a little bit wavy, and that's how the edge looks. And here's the other edge where we started. So you do the lace stitch through the body of the wrap, and then you end with the solid wave just like we began, and then you end with the single crochet in each stitch just like we started, because we did single crochet, then we went to our solid wave. Now if you want to add buttons, I added my buttons on this one side, and of course these are the ones that I made with polymer clay, and nice big buttons work, and you don't have to worry about a buttonhole because you have all these nice big holes that stretch that button right through and will hold just fine. But if you make a button or get a button that's too small, it might slip through and not hold for you. So that's how you make my spring into summer wrap shawl.